Hi, I'm Nathan Holt. Welcome to episode number 30 of Walking the Plains, just in time for the holidays. Today we'll send our imaginations to the faraway land of southern France as we read this classic storybook about the magic of Worlds Week. It was an unusually warm December night, and under the hot lights of the arena stage, a pair of powerful mages locked eyes over the grandest of battlefields.
Remember, gentlemen, whoever wins this game wins the World Championship.
Of course it had to be you.
I'd have it no other way.
I'm surprised you made it this far. Liliana deserved better than to die at your hand.
I took pleasure in it, but not as much pleasure as I'll take in vanquishing you.
The action's really starting to heat up now. Rich, Randy, what can you tell us about these players?
They're clearly the two best Magic players in the whole world. And no one can deny that because they're in the finals, and this is the official video to commemorate the World Championship.
That's exactly right. Now, while the Wizard is an analytical genius and designed his deck using math-based formulas, Mark Rosewater is famous for once eating chips and salsa with Roseanne Barr, which led Wizards of the Coast to hire him to invent all the Magic cards.
Judge, what does this card do?
It's a grizzly bear, it can attack and block, and it has no other abilities.
Of course.
Quit stalling and make your move.
I summon my grizzly bear!
There's certainly no love lost between those two giants of the game. You can cut the tension down there with a knife. This is really happening. This is exactly how it really happened.
And I'm not even kidding about that at all.
Can we use the real book, please?
What do you mean?
Can we please use the real story?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm reading from the... All right, well, I skipped ahead a little bit. You want me to go back to the beginning? Fine. Here we are.
Tom, who do you think in this room is the biggest threat to win the World Championship?
I love playing against the hardest matches, and I think those are really fun. Yuya Watanabe is certainly one of the scariest players anywhere. When we were making a list of names of if we threw life on the line, who you not want to play against, he's in everyone's top 3 that I talk to.
All right, I'm here with last year's world champion, Shahar Shen. Can you tell us, looking back on this tournament last year, when you reflect on it, how did it feel, or how does it feel now?
It felt absolutely amazing. It's really hard to describe it in words. The feeling that you get once you win something that you've worked so hard to get to. How I'm feeling right now is anxious. There's a lot of pressure on me. Just higher expectations than there were last year.
Name the person who is the biggest threat to win the World Championship this year.
Shahar Shen.
Why Shahar?
Little kid luck.
Lucky Shahar is what you guys call him, I know that. What is your expectation for your performance this year, knowing that last year is kind of hard to top, if not impossible?
Well, I'm not gonna top it, but I am gonna equal it. I'm gonna win this year.
The spotlight here at Worlds Week is of course on the players, but it takes a village to create the stage on which they shine.
To get a glimpse of what it takes to put on a show like this, let's go behind the scenes and meet the unseen stars of the Pro Tour. Okay, so this is Heidi. You're the hair, makeup, and wardrobe expert, also known as the Den Mother, and here we are in the den.
We're in the den.
So whose shirt are you steaming right here?
Simon's. He's going to be wearing it tomorrow, so we have to make sure they're all put together and neat every day.
Gotcha. And this, I'm just guessing here, must be Rashad Miller's collection of hats.
Very good guess. Yes, it is. He hasn't been on camera without one in 10 years.
Is there a commentator who cares about looking the prettiest the most?
Rich, definitely. Rich loves to look his best.
I knew it. Leave it to the British man to look prim and proper. All right, I'm here with Scott Larrabee, who is Magic's tournament manager, a very important position. And one of the things that makes the World Championship so exciting is that there is an online format called Vintage Masters, a very prestigious format that has been recreated in paper for the very first time. How are you able to do that?
So what we did is we ran off the contents of 100 boosters out of Magic Online, and then we collected all. It was represented 1,500 cards. We then collected all the cards and then recreated the boosters by hand.
Gotcha. So a computer made the packs, and then you had to go find paper cards for every one of them.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of old cards, maybe some very valuable ones. You work at Wizards, were they all lying around the office?
Oh no, we had to borrow them all from outside the building. So.
Well, Wizards of the Coast has to borrow Magic cards too sometimes. So here's a selection of boosters, and there's a lot of old cards. So
if you'd like to open one,
is it all right if I open one? Okay. So. All right. So. You're kidding me.
No, look at that. Time Twister.
Okay, open Time Twister. That is one of the Power 9, is it not?
It is. Yes, it is.
Okay, so this is obviously it's opened now. We can't reseal it. It's mine now, right?
No, I'm afraid not.
So Worlds Week is 2 events, the World Championship and also the World Magic Cup, where 72 countries battle for their nation's pride. And a person who's playing in both events is Stanislav Sitka, who is the captain of the Czech Republic team, but also a World Championship competitor. What can you tell me about what it's like to prepare for this much Magic in 1 week?
It's insane. It's the most difficult week for Magic player because both of these events are so important for you because you represent your country with your teammates, and then there's the World Championship when you are competing with all other best players in the world. So yeah, it's like having 2 PTs in 1 week. So yeah, it's basically such insane.
Now, you say you can't do everything on your own, learn all the formats and, memorize all the interactions and whatnot, but I imagine they still look up to you as the captain for the advice on the most important plays in team play?
I'm a professional player, they are like recreation players, so if someone makes a mistake, it's my responsibility because I have to take care about all the matches, and obviously they have to make a lot of decisions on their own, but it's my job as a captain to take care about them.
One of the great things about the World Magic Cup is that when you walk around, you hear so many different languages, and I thought it would be silly to waste an opportunity to learn some of them. So I'm here with Joel Larsen, the captain of the Swedish team. Joel, how would I say something like, I block with my snake and my alpine grizzly?
Let's see. Jag blockar med min orm och min alpin grizzlybjörn.
Jag blockade med orm och med grizzlybjörn.
You forgot about the snake though.
So Willie, how would I say in Portuguese, I attack with a goblin token?
Ataco com token de goblin.
Ataco con goblin chicani.
No, let's try again. Ataco com token de goblin.
Ataco con token de goblin.
That was like medium.
How would I ask you, how many cards are in your hand?
你手牌有几张？
你手才有几旁？
你手牌有几张？
你手才有几旁？ Stuck the flames for damage to the Chapin.
Your stuck's a wee bit Irish, but the rest of it was fine.
You block med orm och med alpin grizzly orm. Sounds good.
Again.
All right, one more time. Ataco con goblin. No, Ataco con token to goblin.
I block.
Oh, that was a bad attack.
All right, I'm here with Team Brazil. We all know Willie Adel, the captain of Team Brazil. You've played on the Pro Tour for many, many years. I was here last year. You were playing for winning in for top 8 against Belgium, a very difficult loss. Can you talk about the measure of satisfaction it is to be in the same position but with a different result?
Yeah, like I think magic-wise, if I die like today, I will die happily. Like I think I achieved like everything and I ever dreamed. That's the thing I really wanted since I started, like to play with Team Brazil and top 8 like a major event, and I finally did it. Last year was a heartbreak. It was the first time I ever cried in a tournament of Magic, like when I lost. So this time, like, I might cry later, but like it was so because of happiness. Like I'm so satisfied. Like I would trade like any of my Pro Tour top 8s like I did before for this thing. I could keep them and top 8 now, and I'm so happy and so proud of everyone.
In the top 8 of the World Magic Cup, Willie Adel and his band of Brazilians battled hard, but succumbed in the quarterfinals to a quartet of Englishmen led by their captain, Fabrizio Anteri. But this particular Fab Four wouldn't survive the semi-final matchup against their rivals from across the North Sea, Team Denmark. Meanwhile, an unlikely team of underdogs who had barely made day 2 of the tournament on tiebreakers had snuck into the 8th seed of the Sunday group and were determined to forge their own fate. They started in the quarterfinals by dispatching the number 1 seeded South Korean team, and while Team USA was feared for their sharp play skill, the Hellenic heroes of Team Greece would not be denied victory in the semis. And so, Marios Angelopoulos, Panagiotis Savidis, Socrates Rosaceus, and Bill Chronopoulos would advance to the finals and square off against the Great Danes. To kick off the championship match, Danish captain Martin Müller and his best friend Sarkon the Dragon Speaker bludgeoned Socrates Rosaceus to death in 2 quick games, putting Denmark up 1-0. But Greece's Bill Chronopoulos retaliated swiftly and unleashed a Crater's Claws, which fatally melted the face of Danish MTG heartthrob Thomas Enevoldsen. With the teams tied at 1 match apiece, the fate of the cup lay in the hands of Denmark's Simon Nielsen and Greece's Panagiotis Savidis.
In Game 1, each player summoned approximately 6 billion creatures in what looked like a stalemate, until Civitas' potent combination of the Whip of Erebos and the Soul of Innistrad whittled down Nielsen's forces until a gigantic mess of cards could be pushed into the middle of the table for the win. But Nielsen struck hard and early in Game 2 and dealt a lethal blow with a swarm of hornets imbued with the magical strength of the Soul of Theros. In the decisive Game 3, Civitas suffered from having very little land from which to draw mana. But Nielsen was unable to pressure Civitas, and so the Greek drew resources away from the Dane with the talents of Ashiok, Nightmare Weaver, to the point where Nielsen's entire hand and graveyard lay in exile. With seemingly no way to win, Nielsen miraculously found a Rhino on top of his library, and followed by casting a Dune Blast. It was the most memorable reversal of fortune in World Magic Cup history. Where does this rank for Danish Magic history?
I think that we can safely say this is probably number one. We're not very good, so this is the best thing we've done.
How are you guys going to celebrate this victory?
Lunch. I'm really excited for lunch.
Well, it'll be a delicious lunch, I'm sure. Congratulations to Team Denmark, the champions of the World Magic Cup. The top 4 of the Magic the Gathering 2014 World Championship featured last year's reigning champion, a rising star with a unique resume, a man chasing his childhood dream since 1994, and the most feared player on Earth. When Patrick Chapin won Pro Tour Journey into Nyx earlier this year, he was more excited about getting invited to Worlds than he was about the $40,000 check. But to live out his long-held fantasy, he'd first have to defeat one of Tokyo's best. Kentaro Yamamoto made a name for himself recently by top-8ing Pro Tour Theros with a mono-black Pack Rat deck that quickly became a pillar of the standard format. But Magic historians recognize him as a finalist in the one and only Two-Headed Giant Pro Tour. Unfortunately for Yamamoto, his Sunday magic didn't last long. In Game 1, Patrick Chapin stampeded over Yamamoto's defenses with a pair of Siege Rhinoceri. In Game 2, Chapin employed Anafenza the Foremost to lead the charge and claim victory. And in Game 3, he made ironic use of the spell End Hostilities to make way for a battalion of hostile soldiers. They ended Yamamoto's life, and the semi-final with it. Meanwhile, 21-year-old Israeli World Magic Cup captain and reigning world champion Shahar Shen stared across the table at the man most frequently named by his competition as the world's most skilled player, Yuya Watanabe. But despite Watanabe's famed poker face and strategic patience in Games 1 and 2, his plethora of soldiers and goblins could do nothing but get squished between the large fingers of Shenhar's Doomwake Giant. With his back to the wall, Watanabe's Lilliputians successfully pecked away at Shenhar's life total to win Game 3. But in Game 4, the battlefield belonged to Shenhar's Supreme Serpent, Sidisi, Brood Tyrant. And so the defending champ advanced to the finals for the second time in his young career, where his magic would continue to shine. In Game 1, Patrick Chapin had no answer for Shenhar's Hornet Queen and the deadly drones that accompany her. In Game 2, Shenhar called upon the mysterious and faceless Ashiok, Nightmare Weaver, who invaded Chapin's dreams and brought to life his nightmare of being attacked by his own rhinoceros. Down 2 games to 0, Chapin struggled to find the black mana he needed to cast his spells in Game 3. He was forced to draw it from the noxious fumes of his self-injurious land, the Llanowar Wastes. While this allowed him to fend off Shenhar's assault for a time, it wasn't long before the damage done imperiled his life. And when Shenhar once again summoned his Hornet Queen, the innovator could do nothing but extend his hand to congratulate Shahar Shen, the back-to-back world champion. Shahar, I never thought you would live up to your word. You won 2 years in a row.
It's insane. I don't know. It's been an incredible run. Obviously, I had to get pretty lucky. Chapin drew really, really badly that last match.
You looked me right in the eye. You said, I'm going to win Worlds again. I told your dad that, and he said, wow, I can't believe he had that kind of confidence in himself. I mean, were you feeling it the whole tournament?
No, I was not feeling it the whole tournament. After my VMA draft, my deck wasn't that insane, so I didn't think I was going to 3-0, but after I was 3-0, there was a little more confidence in me, but definitely not feeling it the entire tournament. You know, I was just kind of saying that to boost myself up. I didn't really actually think it.
What is it like to have your family here with you for the whole week, supporting you by your side?
I don't know. My family is great. My dad keeps buying us pizza. Team Israel was awesome too. We kind of just we added the team to the family. It's been absolutely amazing having my family here. I see my sister looking at me right now. She has no idea what this game really is, but she knows I won twice in a row, so that's pretty impressive.
All right, well, congratulations to Shahar Shen. Unbelievably, a back-to-back world champion.
Okay, you gotta make this sound real. You gotta make it sound thrilling. Like more important than World War II.
This will take less than 10 minutes, right?
5 minutes, tops.
We'll do it for $500 apiece.
Yeah, 500, absolutely. I'm thinking like low angle, tight shots, you know, so we look like really intimidating, or maybe just like a close up of like just my eyes. Like, what do you think about that?
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Okay, when I go like this, you be on the left side, okay? But then you get my right side when I go like this. I like this, right, this, left, this, right, okay?
Attack with my grizzly bear. Take 2 damage.
Ingenious. You live up to your reputation.
Your move.
On your end step, I cast Lightning Strike for 3. You're dead!
What?
I win!
That's not what happens. No, that's not what we said.
I am the Magic the Gathering World Champion! World Champion!
I don't like this ending. Let's just have Shahar win again.